Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland. It is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, the year of our Lord. And we're going to talk about some Helix stuff today. I do have my Helix floor right over here in the platinum version, which is like the silvery looking kind. And I actually still very much like the Helix. I actually have a Kemper player and a HX Effects setup pedal board right now that I'm kind of experimenting with, and it sounds equally as good. So what I'm really going to do today is I'm going to recreate that setup, but here on the big floor unit, and then you can take the same knowledge and literally go make the same thing on any other modeler out there, whether that's the full-on Kemper stage, the toaster, the fractal stuff, the quad cortex stuff, the headrest stuff. What else is there? The Boss GT1000, GX100s. I mean, just literally any guitar setup in the world. You can just take these concepts and apply it to that, and you'll have a good time. So, y'all come on in. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will answer those throughout the live stream. And I do have the air on back here. I can turn it off if it's bothering anybody, but I think for now it's fine. And sometimes I hear things in my headphones that I go back and listen to the live stream, and I don't hear the same thing I was really, being worried about before. So yeah, there is that. Oh, I do have a dad mode bluey shirt for Father's Day. So that's kind of fun. And I do have the pink sparkle Kiesel Vader. And this thing is butter. It's great. I love it. The size of the body is great. The three-way switch instead of a 5. I do have a pull-out tone knob here. So I can make the humbuckies a single coil. And that sounds great. That makes the middle position kind of like the 2 and 4 positions on a Strat. And it just works really good. So, okay, that is the direct sound, just with no amp and cab or anything in here. All right, so let's check this out here. Let me go to my M50 view. And what we have is, first of all, I have an auto volume echo, a shimmer, a dynamic hall, from like my really ambient type stuff. I have a tremolo in there. I have a tube screamer and a full tone OCD model. And the Kemper is really providing just like deluxe reverb type amp, though I also have a Mesa Boogie option in there as well. So I know some of the some models take up more DSP than others. So really, when I use the Helix floor, I kind of gravitate toward more of the non traditional amp models that they have. And I'll show you what those are here in a second. So let's do this. Let's get a cap going in here. Let's do an IR. We'll do my IR. Doc McFarland, whatever. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and add the tremolo after the fact. And this could be in the legacy or the mono or stereo options. It doesn't really matter. I just like the basic tremolo. And then we'll go before. Let's add a compressor. Like that. Let's do a... I don't even know. Maybe a deluxe comp or something. We can always adjust the mix if we need to bring that down. Okay. Get my headphone thing out of the way here. All All right, and I'm going to go ahead and add all the blocks first, and then I'm going to assign them to the switches. You're going to see really fast that just how easy it is to work on this unit. So let's go ahead and add in a tube screamer. What are we doing here? Scream 808. I'm going to go ahead and put the gain all the way down, the level all the way up. If I hit action, I can add that to favorites. And add new favorite. Yes. So now the Scream 808 is added to the favorites, which is great. And then we go over, and we'll go ahead and bypass that. Go over. I do like, I'm kind of torn between a few different ones. I like the T-Mall either at low gain or higher, medium to higher gain settings. The compulsive drive is also really good. And I also like the prize drive. So, but the prize drive does take up a lot more DSP. Let's just do that for now. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put in, let's go start doing some delay stuff here. So on the mono, I like the heliosphere. That's how I have it on the HX effects. And it sounds really good. We're going to go action. We're going to move. Okay. Let's add the auto volume echo, which is only in the legacy options here. Okay, so auto volume echo. Now the KP has already a reverb on that. I'm just going to go to the end. Let's just add a really basic legacy spring reverb for this one. Okay, I'm also going to have to go up here to this little block, click on it, and we're going to have to go down to path 2. So that way our signal chain goes from, guitar input over, then around, then back over here. Okay, so now you can kind of hear what's going on there. I will bypass these for now. And we'll go ahead and add. I do agree with somebody I watched recently about fractal stuff. It is nice to have different channels for the amp and drive blocks, so you don't have to use up multiple blocks for just to have multiple amps. I'm gonna do this amp, guitar. I'm gonna go down to the Line 6 original stuff. I mean, all these other amps are great. They're really good. I just kind of like living in this kind of range here. So we got the Clarity, which is like super clean, Aristocrat, Carillion. And that's really loud. Mark in the mix, what's up, man? Yes, I am live. Yeah, I do like the prize drive as well. And sometimes if I get the drives just right, I don't feel like I have to have an actual high gain amp like a Mezza Boogie or Soldano or Orange or something. But it just kind of depends. So I'm liking this for the clean, the Carillion. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what else you want out of a clean sound than just something that's clean, Now we can always go in and adjust the presence and the treble, not make it as crazy. This is the difference between the humbuckers and the singles. Okay, I'm also going to go and bypass this compressor here. And, 'cause, 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 ' Okay, so when you first start adding a lot of elements to the signal path, it's good to really concentrate on gain staging. So notice that the compressor being on kind of overhyped the input of the amp, which is a thing, but it's also 7 dB. So that's just a lot of dB there, which I'm going to go ahead and bypass for now. Now go ahead and I'll actually make the I'll make the amp channel all the way up. Maybe not all the way up. It just kind of just depends on if I have another amp in the signal path. I also don't want to blow your ears out with just clean volume. So I'm looking on the meters over here of the Ecamm Live and just making sure I'm not being too loud. Samuel, what's up? Can you test the Fender Twin? Yeah, I guess. All right, so I'm currently on a Carillion. Let's go up here all the way up. And this is why at some point I really don't care about amp names. As long as it sounds good, you can call it whatever you want. And that's pretty much what they do on the Boss GT1000 stuff. So we want the US, not the double. Yeah, we want the double vibe. All right, so volume all the way up. Drive up a little bit. Maybe not drive up a little bit. Yeah, so that's just a go to the next page. We have the master all the way up. We have the sag. Turn the sag up. Okay, so a lot of this is going to depend on personal preference, obviously, what kind of pickups you have, whether this sounds good to you or not. I will turn the bass down a little bit. All right, so just for Samuel over here with a Strat. He wants it with a Strat. Come on. All right, I'm doing it. Good thing I have a Strat right over here. You don't want the pink guitar? I mean, come on. All right, so this is not exactly a Strat. It is a Kiesel Delos, but it does have some good single coil pickups. And it's raining really hard right now, so. Okay, for all intents and purposes, that sounds halfway decent. So, now what we're going to do now is go back down here. So we have the auto volume echo. We have the heliosphere. Let's go ahead and add another reverb. And let's do a stereo for fun. Even though I am only coming out mono here. Sorry about that. We're going to do a dynamic. I'm actually going to try the dynamic bloom just for fun. And then we're also going to do the shimmer. Okay. Now, what's neat about this is I'm actually going to go to action. Is it action? Yeah. And then do the joystick down. That's going to put it in a parallel path. Okay. And then I can go back up, and then I can click on the split Y areas, and I can move these around as well. So if I didn't want the shimmer to be all the way toward the end or something, or also if I wanted like the auto volume echo to be down on the same path as that, and then maybe I go up like to here, and I go action, and I want to move this, see, I kind of move it around like that. So there's different ways of having parallel options, and it's going to be even greater on the Stadium and Stadium XL, because it's going to have more DSP, and you can have more splits here and there between the different paths. So what we get now is something very similar to this. So we have this fade coming in, but it's in parallel with the normal guitar track. I usually have the time. No, that's the delay time. I want the swell time to be pretty high. And then anything in parallel, you do want the mix to be a little bit higher, because you are blending that with your dry signal. And we'll try this. Okay, you kind of hear. Let's go to the shimmer and make sure the mix is up as well. Okay. Yeah, so definitely want the mix up pretty loud there. I can also turn the level up on that. Okay, that versus moving it up to this separate path here. Okay. Now we have the shimmer on the bottom being more parallel as well. And then the delay heliosphere, I'm going to push the time button to make it quarter notes. And then we can turn the mix. This mix is adjusting the delay mix. And then if you go to the next page, we do have a reverb mix there. And I always want to make sure that the tails are on. And then just hit save twice to save it. Okay. We're just getting all the elements dialed in here. I'm going to go ahead and bypass that for now. Sounding pretty good. Sounding pretty good. Looking. Trails on. Motion's going to be a little bit higher. Okay, there you go. Just got here, but is this a new firmware update related to the upcoming Stadium? No, this is just the same old Helix that we've had, and I'm just showing off how good the Helix still sounds regardless of any kind of new information about Stadium and Stadium XL. Okay, all those units are coming out later in the fall and the winter. But I'm just really showing you that whether you have a Stomp, a Floor, an LT, an HX Effects, those units still rock and they still sound really good. Okay. And what I see from Eric Klein saying from the Helix team is, yes, we're giving you more DSP in the Stadium products. We're giving you more tools, but we're also giving you new ways to use the old stuff and discover new sounds. Okay, so they're giving you a way to like touch the finger and like have different, different corners that actually changes the parameters as you slide it around. So instead of going to each one and like try to dial in each parameter individually, you just literally slide your finger around the screen and it, you just discover sounds that maybe you didn't know that you could do, if that makes any sense. Okay. So the Stadium will give you more functionality, but the sounds are still going to be really, really good, just like they are on the old units. And yes, they do have the Agora new amp models that they're coming out with that's even better than a tube amp, apparently. But that's not to say that the amps and cabs they have now aren't good, because they are. They sound just fine to me. The latest update is 380 unless they announce. No, I don't think there's any new updates. Yeah. Samuel's all about the glassy tones, man. All right. Let's go. Let's bypass some of this other stuff here. Sounds good. Then here's the Heliosphere. Let's take the feedback down. Let's take the mix down of the delay. Tap it in. Yeah, that's true. Only 16. But as you see in the Line 6 original amps, let's go count how many there actually are. Let's move this IR over. We're going to add another amp here, okay? We should be able to. Okay, see, a lot of these amps are already grayed out. But if we go down to the Line 6 original stuff, we have the Badonk. So there we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's like 14 or 15 Line 6 original amps anyway. And what I'm saying is, even if you prefer a Fender Twin, it doesn't mean that the Clarity amp doesn't sound just as good, or an Aristocrat, or a Carillion, or a Voltage, or a Kinetic, or Oblivion, or a Ventu, or an Elmsley, or just any of these other names. They're just names. But as long as the sound is what you want in your head, then I don't care what you call these things. Like this, how many different ways can you have a clean tone? If they, like, do we really need like a Supro? Do we really need like a deluxe reverb, or a super reverb, or these Fullerton amps, the Chromatico amps? I mean, I'm sure they all sound great, and I've tried them all, but my brain doesn't remember like all the little nuances of like how these things function together. The AC Fawn stuff, the Matchstick stuff, the Cali stuff. I mean, there's just all these things here, and at some point, I'm like, I just don't know if I can tell the difference. You just don't know, man. I just don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go, and we're not going to play the Fender Twin anymore. Sorry, Sam. But now notice that most of my amps have come back. Now, I do like the Texas channel 1 and 2. I do like these amps. There's a rectifier. I do like the Archetype Clean. Right? Just kind of adjust the presence and the treble a little bit. And And if you didn't know that was archetype clean, you'd be like, hey, that's a great Fender Twin sound. You know, it's just, they all sound good at some point. But with all that said, let's try the clarity out. Here's the clarity on the bridge pickup. See, that already sounds like the archetype clean to me. It already sounds like the Fender Twin. Maybe turn the drive up a little bit. So here's the neck pickup. And it's called clarity because you can crank it all the way up. And it's still just nice and clean. Right? You're not going to get a lot of breakup out of this amp, very much like a Fender Twin. Those amps are like 90 to 100 watts, and you really have to dime them to get any kind of distortion out of them at all. So what up, Francis? Hand purple blue piece. What's up? Okay, so we have that sound, which I like. Okay, I really like that sound. Let's go now choose just like a filthy, dirty something. Okay, that's not bad. The Oblivion. Definitely need a noise gate down here. Let's go turn off. What do I have turned on here? I have the Heliosphere on. Okay. So we got a lot of gain on this amp. The Ventu is really good. Right, that's good for like a Marshall-y type thing. Once again, I'm on a Strat style guitar, so we have the Doom and the Epic. 2204 mod. And then Fatality, Litigator, Badonk. Okay, stuff like that. So, also have both amps on, which is probably why it sounded so horrible. Okay, now with any one of these amps, you could easily add an EQ after and get more of like a mezza, scoopy cut type sound, or you can make these amps sound however you want. It's pretty good. Let's do the Doom. Okay. Fatality. All right, let's just say I like that. I'm going to go bring the gain down a little bit, bring the presence down, the mids, the bass back up. Okay, I definitely need to tune my guitar. Let's tune it. All right, so now we've dialed in a few things. We got 2 amps, 2 overdrives, a compressor, a tremolo, auto volume echo, Heliosphere, 2 reverbs, a shimmer, and I'm probably going to add maybe just one more basic delay in there. And then by the time you're done assigning everything to stomps and then setting up scenes, I mean, you just have a wealth of tones right at your disposal that you can get pretty much any sound you want. Okay? So yes, the new Stadium XL is $21.99. The Stadium is $17.99. But you can get a Helix floor right now for $12.99. And then probably find them used for $900 to $1,000. So it's just like, wow, the amount of options we have these days to spend however much money you want to spend is, you know, it's crazy. All right, I'm done with the Strat. Let me bring back the pink guitar. We're gonna pink it up right after I plug in again. All right, so for instance, what you can do is if you have the heavy gain amp on, you could easily go to the distortion and turn that on and get a little tighter bass. Right, stuff like that. Okay, so for fun, let's do this. We got a few more blocks we can add in here. So let's add an EQ after the amps. And this will be a Cali Q graphic. So check this out. We have 80, 240, 750, 2200, 6600, just like that you see on a Mark V amp by Mesa Boogie. So if I take this and bring down some 750 by like 3 dB, this is what we get now. Okay, so we're just adjusting the mid-range of that amp just a little bit. And then same can go for, you know, the clarity amp. We got this sound now versus having the EQ off. Okay, so you could have 3 different scenes. One with the clarity, one with the what is this amp? The Fatality amp with no EQ, and then a third one with the Fatality amp with EQ, and now you're just dialing in different stuff. And then maybe a fourth one with the Fatality amp with the Tube Screamer on. So there's 4 different sounds right there that, you know, if you're playing rock, metal, punk, whatever you're doing, you can find ways to dial in, you know, multiple different sounds using this unit. That sounds good right there. That sounds nice. So what we're going to do, let's try this. I want that on. I do like the Helix floor because it shows you the gain reduction on the compression. I will bring down the ratio, maybe 4:1. And then bring the mix back up. Lower the threshold. Maybe raise the threshold. I'm going to raise this threshold here until when I dig in, I don't see as much gain reduction. So maybe make it like 30. So I only get compression when I dig in more, if that makes sense. All right, now, here's my snapshots. And then if I go back, I'm in stomp mode. So what you can do, even though it says preset right now, you can hit the bank up and down. And then, what is that doing? That's not what I thought it was going to be doing. Yeah, that's not what I thought it was going to be doing. Anyway, regardless, I'm on presets, and then I have this set some way. I'm not sure why I have it set the way it is. Let's do this real fast. Let's just add in a basic delay. And we don't have a whole lot. Let's go back. Let's go to legacy. I like a good ping pong sometimes. Okay. Let's go to stomps, and let me show you how to assign things to switches real fast. This is really easy. So we're going to highlight the block, and then we're just going to touch the switch that we want. Okay, and this is assign foot switch to block. Yes. I didn't do it fast enough. And then boom, it shows up right there. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for the prize drive. Select. Okay. For the amps, we don't have to do it for the amps, but I'll go ahead and do it for now. So clarity, I'm going to move it on this switch, but I'm also going to do the same thing for the fatality on the same switch. Okay. And what that's going to do is give you multiple effects on the same switch that you can now just toggle back and forth. Okay. Which is great. I mean, the workflow of the Helix is just, it's really second to none. It's just really good. We're going to add the tremolo to this switch. Then I can always move them around later if I want to. The EQ doesn't technically have to be on a switch because I can just turn those on and off within a snapshot. But we'll see what we run out on here. And then I can add the auto volume echo to this one. I can add the simple delay here, the heliosphere, and then we'll add the dynamic bloom. What did I do? Oh, I changed something. What did I do? There we go, heliosphere. Bam. Okay. So now I have a little pedal board I have set up. So with my clean amp, I can turn on some tremolo, which I will now go and adjust. So let's figure this out. We want the intensity, we want the speed to be up in the 5s and the intensity down a little bit. Something like that. Pretty good. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger. Yeah, cool. Okay, so there's a basic tremolo dialed in. Let's see what the dynamic bloom does. And then to edit anything, you just touch the switch, and now all your parameters show up right here. And it's just super easy to do this. We'll make the decay nice and long. Let's see what we got. Ducking. Alright, I'm not liking that one. Let's just do the hall. Bring up the decay, the room size all the way up. More mix. "29 people. Wow, I think people really like this this topic today. Appreciate that. I sold my Helix rack. I don't miss it for the fact that I could run my acoustic pickup in and then have a small condenser mic in the back, which is cool. Yeah. Should have kept it just for that. Well, Helix racks, I'm pretty sure are going to be on the marketplace for dirt cheap. So you can just pick up another one in the future if you really had to. I'm going to try something here. Let's go to global settings. Let's go down to displays. That's not what I want. I want preferences. No. I thought there was a way to change the brightness of this stuff here. Guitar pad in, mic input. Ba-ba-da-ba-doo. Yeah, I really thought there was. Recall, reload. First block, auto impedance. All right, I'm not going to mess with it right now. There is a global EQ, which I don't do a whole lot with, but. All right, dynamic call. Here's the, make sure that your trails are on. Otherwise, if you turn the pedal off, your sound won't keep going. See how it keeps going like that? Okay, it still sounds great. Now, I'm only able to utilize all these effects blocks because I'm using two different paths. Because obviously you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can only have 8 blocks on a single line or path, whatever you want to call it. And then you can have another 8 blocks on this. Unless you did, unless you did like a little chain type thing. Maybe you could add more. Probably, that's probably the case, but I don't do it a whole lot. Okay. Heliosphere. Now I like that one because it gives you delay and reverb in the same block, which is cool. And that's great. We can turn the reverb decay up pretty high. Stuff like that. Okay, I like that. Turn that off. Here's the ping pong. Okay, turn the mix down. See, once you've added all your elements, that's when you go back in and just dial it in how you want. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, that's fine for that. Here's the audio volume echo. What do we have here? The time. There we go. The swell needs to be nice and slow. The level can come back down. What's happening here? Trails need to be on. Obviously, the depth can be up. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I think you're new to the channel here. If you're interested in more, if you're watching and interested in more content like this, be sure to subscribe down below. I do have about, I have over 1,000 videos on my channel and about 17,000 subs-ish at the moment. So, but I'm just here to help and educate and inspire different ways. Okay, I'm liking that. Sounds good. And then obviously in the snapshots, I can have the shimmer turned on. Right, and I can get that blend because let's turn the decay up a little bit more. Because I have it in parallel to my dry signal. And so therefore I have to have the mix all the way up here. Now, I'm not saying I'm totally happy with like the shimmer sounds on the Helix. Honestly, the Kemper reverbs are light years better. I just don't like the really pitchy kind of thing going on there. But what I can do is probably bring up the dampening. Let's see, let me try this. Yeah, that kind of smooths it out a little bit. The new Line 6 looks like blue skies, rainbows, and pixie dust all at it, but I'm so invested in the big K world that I wonder if I will waste time noodling and trying to learn a new unit. The Helix is actually really easy to learn. So I'd say, you know, sit down with it for a few hours and you'll be up and running in no time. Okay, I'm liking that. All right, now if we go over here to snapshots, let's start dialing in some snapshots, shall we? So right now we have snapshot 1, which is going to be just basic clean. Okay, let's go to snapshot 2, and then now we are going to bring in. Let's bring in the heliosphere on this one. Okay. Still a long reverb, but it's not as crazy as having the other stuff on. Okay. Which also means I will now go to snapshot 3. And let's turn this on and this on. Okay, this is more for like the swell type stuff. And then go all the way over, turn on our auto volume echo and our delay, our ping pong delay. Okay. I know it's a little crazy. It's crazy. Okay, that's the first 4 snapshots. You can hear that all the delay rings out. Kind of stuff, okay? We're going to add some more volume to this. Okay. All right, go back to our snapshot 1. All right, now let's go to 5 and let's make these be the overdrive stuff. Okay. Okay, what we can do at this point, we're going to do something neat. We're going to go to the mix parameter. We're going to push and turn. And that's going to make it to where it's you can make it assignable in snapshots. So for this one, we're going to bring the mix down a little bit lower. Maybe up a little bit more. Okay, and then go back to our mix 1, and you can see that the mix jumped back up to 42%. And then snapshot 5, the mix is down. Okay, so let's go up here. Let's make sure our channel volume is getting equal volume on both amps. Ooey gooey. I love it. Okay. Still really good. Let's go to snapshot 6. And let's now bring in our green screen. Okay, not bad. Let's go the same thing, snapshot 7. We're now going to turn on the ping pong delay. Once again, we're going to turn and twist the mix knob, and we're going to adjust this up a little bit. Okay, save that. Then maybe the last one, we can do a fun lead ambient type thing. So we're going to go down here. Let's just bring on the heliosphere. Okay, and then the reverb mix on this, I'm going to turn and twist, and I'm going to bring it down. Then also turn and twist the reverb decay and bring that one down. Okay, so now you're seeing the power of snapshots to where we can literally have the same blocks, but now we're literally changing the parameters and on and off state of each block, okay? I'm gonna bring this down so you can kind of see the scribble strips a little bit better. All right, there we go. Check some comments here from the peeps. I see that the current Helix stuff is cheaper until the new ones come out. Yeah, it's great. Really, really good. I had considered selling this Helix right here, but now that the prices have dropped, and I mean, this is like a limited edition platinum version, which is more silver in the finish. I mean, I like the form factor, and the fact that the new Helix is going to be like this much smaller or something is crazy how much smaller it's going to be. But even looking at this right here, I mean, it's already, not humongous, but the fact that they're making everything that much smaller is cool. Okay. I think even like the Stadium is going to be, I'm sure the switches are going to be a little bit closer together, but I have to get the measuring tape out and see what the dimensions are on how this looks. But I think it's going to be not as tall, and it's going to be not as wide. So, there's the size factor is going to be huge. It's definitely going to be huge. And I'll probably, more than likely, I'll just go ahead and get the Stadium XL. And that way, it's already going to be smaller. I still have the treadle built in. And I like having scribble strips on a unit and not have to rely on the screen the whole time to do stuff or to see things that the switches should be doing. So, yeah, I'll just go ahead and get the full-on Stadium XL just to have it. Be like, well, this is going to last me another decade. $2,100, another decade is well worth it. So, all right, now if I had this plugged in to the computer, which I would try and do right now. Let's see here. Oh, there goes the pedal. I can't do it. The USB is too far away, and I don't have a long enough cable. But what that's going to mean is this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to need to go... I know what I need to do. I need to hit action, and... Man, I'm drawing a blank on how to do this right this second. Okay, that's command center stuff. There's that, which goes back to your amps. It actually goes back, it toggles between both amps you have in the path, which is kind of neat. Okay. I am thinking, do we go to save? We do have it in set list 3. We have it in the destination. Replace user. Let's go ahead and save this real fast. Let's go, let's make it dock. Like so. So you can do everything with this one knob right here. Okay, dock. Helix. Yeah, this is the boring part where I'm trying to label things. Wow, I can't spell apparently. Here we go. That makes a lot more sense. Dock Helix. All right. Now, I want to... What am I doing here? I need to save. I'm trying to change the name. Okay, I think I have to go into here. Bypass assign. No, not that one. Controller assign. Not that one. It's not command center. Yeah, I'm missing something here. I am missing how to rename the snapshot. Like for instance, if I want to go back to here and rename this switch, I have to go into, I have to go into customize. See now how it says multiple? I can customize it to say, I want this now to be amp. Let's do that. XY. Okay, now it says amp XY right there, which is great. But when I go to my scenes, I want to be able to I want to be able to change change the name of my scenes from the device. And something is eluding me here. Copy, clear, home. Andrew, if you're still watching, I need you to tell me how to do this. That does sound good. Add to your favorites and save it as whatever. No, it's not the favorites. It needs to be the snapshot. There's no .8 delay preset. You just make it however you want. So for instance, if I want to go back down to my ping pong delay, it's currently set on quarter notes. I need to have it set to dotted eighth to make it a dotted eighth. Go into my stomps. Something like that. Andrew, how do I rename snapshots on this thing? Oh man, I just want to rename this like clean, then clean with a heliosphere. And then go shimmer and verb. Okay. Maybe I need to go, like for instance, make this mix a little bit lower. Then we got this. Then we got this. 6. 7 with the delay. And then 8 is going to be the ambient lead. I'm gonna have to use. I'm gonna have to use. Hold on. For editing on the Helix, just press the preset knob to open the set list menu, and then press knob 6. Ah, hello. Preset knob. The preset knob. Hold on. Yeah, but what do you mean click on the snapshot name? I mean, I can't do that. That doesn't do anything. Action. I would think it would be under action. But it's not action. Let's go back here. Let's hold this down. This doesn't do anything. Oh, never mind. It's preset. Sorry. I'm an idiot. That's it right there. See, I was going to make a video on this a while ago, and I just never got around to it, but I should probably totally do that now. So anyway, this is going to be... This is what I get for not using Helix every day. I just forget some stuff. Lead ambient. So we're going to go through and name these. And I do appreciate the help. I was having a total brain fart here. Now notice also I just saw you can change the LED switch color, which is kind of neat. So let's make these like I don't know. Let's make this whole row red, and then the bottom row can be like blue or something. That'll be neat. Okay. Snapshot 7, rename snapshot. This is my lead. So LD. And then I'm going to delete. Actually, let's make this lead delay. DLY. I always am an advocate for learning how to do these things on the actual unit itself instead of always relying on some kind of PC editor. Because there will be times when you get into the thick of war and you're like, man, I really need to, I need to adjust something, but I don't know how to do it. Well, you got to learn how to do it. Let's call this one rhythm. If I can find the R. RHY. And then we'll call it TS for Tube Screamer. I will be putting this on my website, by the way. So if you're interested in downloading this, then I will have it on the website. Rhythm TS. And then we'll go to here. We'll call this just rhythm. Now notice I did not use my prize drive in these snapshots, but you can always stay on a clean sound and then just go to your stomps and do different stuff like that. So snapshot 1. This is going to be CL for clean. I try to keep my names pretty short. We don't need like crazy amounts of whatever. This one, like for instance, I don't think I have a tremolo snapshot. Maybe I do. I'll look at it here in a second. This is going to be clean delay. So CL and then DLY. This is actually not a bad experience. This is a pretty enjoyable unit to use here. Let's see what this one does. I'm going to say that one's pretty similar to the clean delay, except I want to add in the tremolo. Okay, so and then we'll go down here and just bring the mix of these things down a little bit. I like my tremolo sound to be kind of nestled within like delay and reverb. I think it just sounds really good that way. All right, preset button. Hello. We're cooking with gas now, folks. All right, so this is going to be more of a the ambient nature. So A and B for ambient. Need to go back in here. Let's change the LED color to blue. Okay. Same thing here. LED color, the blue. LED color, blue. Same thing here. LED color to blue. Yep, we got that. We'll change the name. It's going to be called Swell. That's Swell. And once again, folks, these are all concepts that you can apply to literally any other modeler out there. Don't think it has to be on the Helix, okay? We're going to go change this name or color to red. Change this one to red. Yeah. Okay. Now, what we can do now is go back to our input. Notice how we're getting some hiss there. I'm going to go to my input signal and turn the gate on. And then just turn the gate down. Maybe to like 60 or so. Okay. Oh man. Long press. Long press what? I don't know. Yes, I can do it in HX Edit, but I don't. My USB cable wasn't long enough to plug in, and I just wanted to do it. So now I got some blues for my cleans down here. Clean delay with trim. Yeah. Ambient. I'm going to go... What am I going to do? I'm going to go down to this block here. I'm going to turn up the level. Let's turn this up a little bit. Great. Look at that. I can literally do this in the snapshot too. That's so cool. All right, so let's go this ambient. So notice how the merger mixer went up by 3 dB because I assigned it to snapshot parameter. That's just so helpful. And then going over to here, we can bump up our volume. All right, let's go back to our rhythm. And notice how this EQ has been on the whole time. Let's try this. Let's go to a rhythm TS and turn off the EQ, then save it. So we're not only adding more mids via the tube screamer, we're also turning off the EQ, which naturally gives us more mids anyway. So that one versus this. Okay, so one's more scoopy sounding, the other is just mid-range chunk. Okay, then we got the delay, which I am going to turn off that EQ on that one. And then the lead ambient. Yes, sir. Get rid of the number 8. Yeah, I see that. All right, preset 8. Oh no, we're going over. Was it getting on your nerves? Is that what it was? There we go. No, I didn't do it. I didn't save it. Let's actually save it. Delete. Okay. Save. Well, some people are more OCD than others, I know. That's the way it is. Hey, we're still got 19 people watching, which is a miracle within itself. All right, so I mean, I could show up to church. I could record here in the studio. If I go back to my my stomp view on the clean sound, I can kick in like a prize drive. Let's go down this one in, bring the level up. It does sound good. Sounds good. Okay, but I like the amp sound. That's the one thing the battle between, like, do you want pedal distortion or amp distortion? If I'm gonna get like a high gain amp type sound, I just want it to come from an amp. So I'm gonna choose either like the Archetype or the Badonk sounds really good, stuff like that. So trying to get my headphone cable out of the way here. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. This has been fun. I can stick around for any last questions if anybody has them. You could go a little bit farther and dial in things if you wanted to. But I think really for now, I mean, this is a good... And even though I left the compression on the whole time, it's really just knocking off like the higher, you know, the stronger hits of the string. I could turn it off with the overdrive stuff. But I think I like it on. I think it's fine with it being on. So it's the way it is, man. It is Tuesday. I'm not sure what I'm going to have for dinner, but it's going to be good. All right, let's do this. Let's go to my website real fast. And let's do a jam track, which, by the way, I do have jam tracks on my website. There are 52 of them for every week of the year, and they are about 10 minutes long. So if you got 10 minutes, you want to practice, you know, scales or whatever you're doing, then you can do that. It's called Doctor's Prescribed Backing Tracks. And we will go to View Product. And let's see what we got here. Pop Ambient Groove in D. Not even sure what this is. Let's see here. Head and browser. Can it do it? Wow. Firefox. Should be working. Found a little discrepancy here in my volume. So let's check this out. So. All right, definitely the, all right, let's do this. Amps. Let's bring down the channel volume of this amp here. Make sure that we're getting similar volumes from both amps. All right, let's just go to... we're going to have to go... We're going to have to bring this volume up a little bit more. Adjusting these levels here. Yep. Go back to here. All right. Cool. We got it figured out. All right. Thanks for watching. We are having fun after all. Let's finish up this track and then we'll be done. So. Oh man. All right, guys, I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm hungry. But once again, we have the Kiesel Pink Sparkle Vader. This thing is just sick. I love it. We've got the Helix over here. Just slaying the tones. So now, right now you can get this for $12.99 from Zound, Sweetwater, American Musical, just all the places, right? Is the new Helix Stadium really... I mean, it's essentially $1,000 more. Okay? So, you can get a Helix floor for $12.99 or get a Helix Stadium XL for $21.99. So it's really $900 more. You know, if you need the extra bells and whistles, then I say go for it. I'm going to get one just because, you know, I make videos on gear and I can't make a video on it if I don't have one. So I'm going to buy one. But if you're just a stay-at-home player and you don't need all the fancy stuff, then I think the Helix floor is more than sufficient to get any kind of sound that you need for jamming, recording, music creation of any kind. Okay? So leave me your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. And I will update this stream with all my affiliate links and links to my website so you can go look at all the products. And if you want to help support the channel in that way, then I highly appreciate that. And until next time, I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.